Hi guys, Overarch here, and today I want to talk about one of the most overlooked games of 2017, and that game is Bomber Crew. So Bomber Crew flew under a lot of people's radar, pun intended, last year, which is odd because it's such a charming indie game. So in the game, you are charged with managing the crew of a World War II British bomber who's flying over occupied Europe to perform a variety of missions, everything from bombing the enemy to reconnaissance to busting dams. So there's a lot of kind of cool missions you can do there, and it's a really unique game in that you're building and leveling up your bomber and its crew, and I would describe it as management chaos. You have to, while your crew kind of performs a lot of actions once you tell them to, you do first have to tell them to do it. So things like shooting down approaching enemy fighters, you have to actually spot them, and you'll hold your cursor on them for a second, and then the gunners will start shooting. Navigation, you have to, hold. You have to hold your screen on a certain point to navigate. Everything landing, all that stuff is just very much chaos. And even though they do a lot of it for you, you still have to tell them to do it. And in the heat of battle, in which you've got, your plane is on fire, you literally have your engineer out on the wing trying to fix an engine. Yes, the game's a little zany, a little wacky. The engineers will literally climb out on the wings to fix engines and put out fires. It just becomes this chaos, and it's incredibly fun just because you're trying to manage like 10 different things. It is a roguelike game, so you are going to die some. It does have a overarching progression. You basically get research points, and those research points, the text you unlock will carry over to your next bomber crew. And if you're shot down, chances are you're losing your crew, though. They have a chance to bail out in parachutes and such, and then their chance to get back is dictated by their survival. You get the point. It's controlled chaos, and it's super fun. It is also very approachable of a game. Everything is, once you learn how to, mark targets, everything's kind of self-explanatory. Okay, I have to, hold my cursor here to navigate to the navigation icon to navigate. I have to, do all this stuff. And there's also kind of a strategy layer within the mission itself, too. Do you fly at a higher altitude where enemy fighters can't reach you? Because in World War II, a lot of enemy fighters couldn't climb up to the same altitude as a bomber. So do you hold up at that altitude? But if you do that, it's going to be very difficult for your navigator to navigate due to the cloud cover. And you also are very vulnerable to your crew freezing. So you might not be able to hold that altitude for very long. Do you go ahead and lean your fuel mixture, so you make your fuel mixture less fuel rich in order to get an extended range? Or do you go with a richer fuel mixture in order to try to outrun those bombers that are chasing you, or try to get through the enemy anti-aircraft gun fire? Do you make a low approach over the target, which would leave you more vulnerable to fighters and to small arms from the ground? Or do you take a higher or altitude approach, which would leave you vulnerable to the flat guns on the ground? These are just a couple examples of some of the things you can do in the game, and there are a couple examples of kind of the zaniness, the controlled chaos that you're going to be seeing in the game, and it's super fun. It's unique. It's not done. This is something that's never been done before in gaming. Where you have this type of crazy management sim in which you have just so much controlled chaos. You have an overarching progression and management system, and then you even have strategic layers inside the actual mission, as well as the more tactical, do I need to focus on these targets? How can I manage this fire while telling him to reload the guns while pointing out targets and lining up a bomb run at the same time, and so on and so forth. You guys kind of get the idea. It's only $15 on Steam, which is super good considering how fun it is. I do highly recommend you check it out if you have 15 bucks to spare and are looking for a fun game. And I'm sure it goes on sale for even less. So as always, guys, I'm Overarch. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.